What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. As many of you know, Chromatic Games did a Dungeon Defenders Awakened Q&A live stream earlier today, and as promised, this is a recap of all the facts that we learned there. Now, this is designed to be a condensed version. By all means, if you have an hour to spend, head on over to Chromatic's Twitch page and check out the VOD of their full dev stream. There will be a link down in the description below to take you right to the VOD. Now, starting things right off, tower speed and tower range will be returning in Dungeon Defenders Awakened as a stat. So similar to DD1, we will have a tower speed and tower range stat that we will be able to improve on our towers. There will be survival modes in Dungeon Defenders Awakened, so those who love survival mode in DD1, it is going to be there in DDA. Pets will be inspired by DD1, so in Dungeon Defenders 1, of course, pets can be quite significant, and in Dungeon Defenders 2, they're basically just a very small stat stick with a special ability. Now, the special abilities are great, however, pets overall are not exceptional in DD2, and pets will be inspired more by Dungeon Defenders 1. There will be a full set of achievements on launch that can be achieved in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. And the things that we love, with nothing in specific, but things that were very positive notes from Dungeon Defenders 1 and Dungeon Defenders 2 will both be there in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Loot will be instanced loot, so no free-for-all. So you don't have to worry about that hot item dropping on the map and somebody else running over and snagging it like in DD1. It will be instanced loot like in DD2, where anything that drops will be your own personal loot. With that in mind, player trading will be included. So if you find a piece and you want to trade it to your friend, that is all going to be there. Special challenges will have targeted special loot, so we will be able to do some targeted loot farming, and inventory management will be improved. Now, on that note, there is a new full-time developer headed over to Chromatic Games right now that is a UI UX designer. So this is a specialist in the field of UIs in gaming. This is something that none of the Dungeon Defenders games have ever had before, and should lead to a nice, crisp-looking UI for us to work with. In Dungeon Defenders Awakened, you will be able to assess your heroes easily, with a strong note of not having to run back to the Forge every time you need to swap a hero. There's no details exactly what kind of swapping there will be, but you will be able to access all of your heroes very easily. Mana will not be the main currency in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Although mana will be part of gameplay, it will not be listed as an actual currency. No matter how you like to play the game, whether it be solo or multiplayer, you will feel rewarded for however you choose to play. Not many more details listed here either. However, you'll be able to play this game solo if you want, you'll be able to play the game multiplayer if you want, and basically you choose your own path in that regard. The stats system in general will be more like Dungeon Defenders 1 than Dungeon Defenders 2. So as you level up, you'll have specific stats that you can put points directly into to improve, similar to a Dungeon Defenders 1 system. Hero abilities will be a hybrid of both Dungeon Defenders 1 and Dungeon Defenders 2. So they won't be just like Dungeon Defenders 1 abilities, they won't be just like Dungeon Defenders 2 abilities, but it'll be kind of a hybrid of both. Higher-end graphics features are being investigated and are an option in Unreal Engine 4. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to have a higher requirement as far as your PC goes. What it does mean is there's going to be more options to turn on and off. So depending on the quality of your PC, you'll be able to fine-tune the graphics to find that nice, sweet balance of graphics versus frames that you particularly are looking for. There is a new stretch goal on the Kickstarter, and that is the Rift Walker. Now, this was brought up based of the question of will there be new heroes in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. So yes, there will indeed be new heroes in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. If that stretch goal is achieved, the Riftwalker hero will be there at launch. Now remember, unreached flex goals in the Kickstarter are not going to be scrapped. It's just a matter of how soon they can get them in. All of those goals are all goals that Chromatic would like to see added into Dungeon Defenders Awakened, and it's just a matter of timing and what they can get into the game with the time frame they're looking at. There will indeed be Twitch integration, and this has a large impact for me personally, as I'll be streaming with Twitch integration. It only makes sense to stream Dungeon Defenders Awakened on Twitch. Cross saves should be there at launch. Cross-play will probably not be there at launch. With this in mind, they have systems in place and they're already working on how they can make cross-saves work. So unless some major issue arrives, Chromatic is saying that cross-saves will be available at launch, meaning that you can log off of your PC, pick up your Switch, and you'll be playing on the same account without having separate progression. There will be an anti-cheat system. This was a big question for everyone as soon as it was announced that online play would not be required. You can play locally and offline, and there will be an anti-cheat system in place to make up for that. There will be graphics up to 4K support available in Dungeon Defenders Awakened, and there will not be microtransactions. People keep saying it over and over again and keep bringing it up. There are not going to be microtransactions in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. This is a full retail product where you buy the game, you have the game. If new content comes, then there could be DLC in the future. However, there will be no microtransactions at all in the game. They're not ready to say how many heroes will be there at launch, but they do want to get as many heroes as possible ready for launch. So with that in mind, we know we're going to have the original 4 heroes. We don't know what other heroes will be there. However, Chromatic does want to get as many heroes as possible in for launch. The goal is eventually to be available on all platforms or launchers, where there's a lot of conversation of please be on Steam, don't be on Epic, be on Discord, don't be on Steam. There's lots of different opinions there. And as a retail product, it is Chromatic's goal to get it in the hands of as many people as possible. And the one thing that they really want to make sure happens is no matter where you purchase the game, whether it be the Epic launcher or Discord or Steam, that everyone on that platform are able to play together. Where there's no issues if you purchase Dungeon Defenders Awakened on Steam and someone else purchases it on the Epic launcher, those two people will still be able to play together. Now, as far as the VIP room that is listed on the Kickstarter, that is something that is exclusive to backers. However, there will be secret rooms in the game. So these secret rooms will be unlockable, similar to as they were in Dungeon Defenders 1. But as far as the VIP room, that is not something that you will be able to unlock down the road. That is something that will be a backer exclusive, specifically through Kickstarter. There will not be a physical release, meaning there won't be a boxed edition. You won't be able to go into your local store and buy a boxed edition of Dungeon Defenders Awakened. In fact, none of the Dungeon Defenders games have had a physical release. There's a possible that they may be able to do something for collectors on a smaller scale in the future. However, the plan is for the game to be released digitally, and then you'll download it. So no box set or anything that you'll be able to purchase to get a hold of. Now, this was a Dungeon Defenders Awakened focused stream. However, of course, there was lots of DD2 questions being brought up, and the number one question, we all already know what it is. When is the Dungeon Defenders 2 update? They didn't give us a specific date on the Dungeon Defenders 2 update. They did say it would be very soon. Now, me personally, my guess from that is maybe the week after next. I'd be completely shocked if it was here next week, because if it did come next week, they probably would have just teased it and showed a little something and said it'll be here next week. So my guess is that the DD2 update will not be here next week, but will be here maybe as soon as the following week. Everyone there at Chromatic did say very soon many times. However, we all know how that goes. Very soon to me means something extremely different than very soon to you might be. However, we want to get our hands on it, and Chromatic is aware of this, and they're going to make it available to us as soon as they can. So that will do it for now. As I mentioned, there will be a link down in the description below to the full live stream VOD. By all means, if you have an hour, head on over there and check it out. And then if you do have any questions, just let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get you some answers. So that will do it for this time. As more Dungeon Defenders Awakened and Dungeon Defenders 2 news comes available, I will have it posted right here on my channel. Thanks again, and I will see you all next time around.